The old Hutson farm? It's been a long time since I heard about that old place. There's been many a brave souls lost in that there forest, and a few that's made it out alive to tell that story. Well, this here happens to be one of those stories.
Oh my gosh, Dad, look at these rats!
Let's just say this story started some 40 years ago, when most stories like this would normally end. Well, I guess you could say this isn't like most stories. You know, they say at the heart of every happy ending, there's a story just fighting to begin. And if you ask me, sounds like we need to start right there.
Should work, huh?
Yeah.
See what we got up underneath here.
It's a muffler, part of a muffler.
The thorns were guarding it. Well. Yep.
Ooh.
Another little mouse home, huh?
Yeah.
Not near as bad as the Rambler, but is that a slant 6, I guess?
That's what it looks like, yep.
Huh. Pretty clean up underneath here on the fender wells and stuff.
Yeah, that looks like brand new almost, doesn't it? Which I guess it should.
Nothing ate up on the spark plug wires over here. I guess the real question will be though, is it out of gear as far as you know?
I guess it is. Well, let me check, make sure.
Just curious if it's locked up.
It feels like neutral.
Well, that block is funky looking the way that thing is designed.
I started right over here on the top.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that ain't good.
So is that?
No, there it went.
Oh, yep, it did.
Turning over. That's good. That's what the old looks like. Yeah, dark, but it's on the full mark.
It's not black.
Well, this side ain't in too bad a shape, but man, the other side sure took a lick, didn't it?
It sure did.
It's crazy how that door, though.
Well, that's what I just, excuse me, I was just fixing to say. They've removed the back seat, and if you look in there, it looks like maybe the old door is in there, and it's boogered up pretty good.
Oh, yeah. I bet it is. I bet they found another door.
Yeah, it's yellowish colored. That's Wyatt.
This could be the door that goes to the parts car out there we got to cut out. Well, let's grab some tools and I guess start cleaning this mess out. See if it'll turn over with the battery or whatever.
Alrighty.
Hopefully it will. Once again, running when parked, but 40 years ago, we know how that goes.
Yep.
So here we have another prime example of a pretty cool car that's just been setting up for years. We bought this with a bunch of other cars out here at the Hutson farm. Luckily, at least this one was stored up underneath a kind of a lean-to style barn, so it's not near as bad a shape as what that old Rambler was up underneath the hood. Now, supposedly this car was running when they parked it, I'd say probably about 40 years ago. The side of it is just smashed in. It's been T-boned really hard, but it did come with a parts car that might have enough pieces that we can piece together and just try to get a good car out of it. Now our plan is just to try to get this thing up and running. If we have any luck, any success with that, we're going to try to see if it'll move around. If it cranks up and runs halfway decent, we're just going to try to hit the road with it, make its first road trip, see if this thing's roadkill or actually roadworthy. I think I'm going to go ahead and get these plugs pulled out. I'd rather know put a little oil or something down in there, get it turning over at least, because I know them rings are going to be dry down in the pistons and stuff. So
Yeah.
I'll pull them loose.
I'll do a little
You want to try to
housework.
clean up a little bit?
Yeah.
All the plugs look pretty stinking good in there. Gonna be a booger at cleaning up them points in that distributor though.
It's not as bad as I thought. It looked like it was real deep, but it's...
Yeah, it did.
It's actually the valve cover there, so it's not as deep as it looked.
Coming out pretty good. First one anyways. Yeah, that's a strange design on these things. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah.
Not terrible, but
No.
I've seen a lot better. I was hoping these wires would stay with kind of no firing order, but they ain't that old.
Not stiff enough. It's actually cleaning out a lot easier than I thought it would.
I guess we've got both battery cables there on this one.
Have to watch that one that don't get into the fan, but
Yeah.
it's there.
Speaking of fan, we got by any chance, do we have any antifreeze or anything in there? Doubt it, highly doubt it.
I don't see anything.
Oh, there's a crack.
Yeah, I start to say I do see a crack there.
That ain't good.
Yep. But it's at the top, so
Right. You just don't know how it
right how it
how
got
that
in.
happened.
Well, it's going to be loud. Just notice it's missing the exhaust from right here on back. I don't know how far, but it is missing it.
Now, does it even go to the exhaust manifold, or?
Yeah, it comes out of the manifold and goes down about a foot, and then it's gone.
Wow. Playing a beat.
I'd say that kind of noise, you start looking for cannibals.
Alright. I'm gonna squirt some oil down in there and grab a battery and see it'll release.
I'm not gonna mess with that until you get,
Yeah.
because I hate for that to fall down in there. So I'll just
I might get something to keep it from. Well, actually, they're down. They're down
They're
inside.
underneath?
Yeah, so it's not gonna fall in there. Probably make a mess once we start turning this over, but
right.
at least it gives us something in there to lube it up a little bit until that oil starts making its way everywhere. Hopefully there ain't no clatters or knocks. I ain't about to pull this thing out.
No.
About got a spot where we can try it out.
Yeah, getting pretty close. I just don't want anything to be sitting here on this exhaust and stuff and catch a fire on us.
These up here were probably close enough to their house. They kind of kept semi-scared away.
That, and I seen cat tracks.
Oh yeah?
So that probably helps some too.
That'll work every time. Let's see what it does real quick. I guess you want to hold that and make sure we don't, no keys in it or nothing?
No keys. I finally found the ignition down there and it didn't show anything on it.
So I've got the spark plugs pulled out of this engine now. Dad's been cleaning up on this rat's nest of what was built up on top of the motor. It wasn't near as deep as what we thought it was going to be, so pretty much got it cleaned up for the most part. We'll have to keep at it, kind of blow it out or something like that. We've got a battery hooked up here. The starter's at a super simple spot up here at the top where you can get at. So we're just going to see now if this thing will turn over. I pumped a little bit of Marvel mystery oil down in these cylinders to help lube it up as well. So hopefully it turns over and shoots all that stuff out here and we can move on to the firing, gas, all those issues. So
ready?
Yeah, try it out. Oh, it is moving. Go ahead and let her rip. Slowing down some, huh?
Yeah.
Give her a go again. I wonder if our water pump ain't halfway froze up. I hear some squealing, but I really don't want to take that belt off or cut that belt quite yet. Give it another shot.
Okay. I was sitting there holding that in my hand there while you was reaching in there. I thought that probably wasn't a good move, so I went ahead and disconnected. Ready?
Yeah. Not so much on that one, it's a little weak. Keep going. One more time. Speeding up, ain't it? It's getting better. It's starting to get that oil everywhere. Well, that's good. It did blow some junk up. Oh wow, these little things are coming out of here. I was wondering what those were. Some kind of a little sleeve that goes down in there. But it is blowing a little junk and grime out of those cylinders there. I think keep letting her spin. Way better. This one right here may have a stuck valve. It's not real strong. But before we dig down into that, I'd rather just
get it, see if it'll crank.
Sometimes you can crank them up and unstick themselves, but well, that's good. At least it's a lot further along on this one than we have been on the ones in the past, aka Rambler. We do have all the parts, coils here. I guess I'm going to go ahead and see if we can get this breather off, see what the carburetor looks like. Sure it's locked up. And I'm going to try to go ahead and get down here on the distributor to the points, I guess, and see if we can't get a little spark out of it.
Smokes.
So this thing is turning over, and the more and more we hit it, it just gets quicker and quicker, which is good. I believe we might have some stuck valves on that third cylinder there, but Dad's going to go ahead and take the breather off, see what the carburetor looks like. I'm sure it's plumb terrible. I'm going to try to get down here on the distributor, which is kind of hard to get at, see if we can clean up these points, get them firing a little bit. This thing may bust off within the hour, so hopefully, fingers crossed, it will. It sounds solid so far, but you never know until you crank these things up and just let them run under their own power. Points ain't in great shape, but I have seen a lot worse. You can just try to clean these ones up before we replace them, just to see. Never know.
I kind of like to always be able to use what's on it, say that that's what we had, but yeah.
Oil filters right here beside the distributor. I guess I'll file them down and see. And most of the time they will, at least for a little bit.
Alrighty, we're gonna see what it looks like. Not bad.
Yeah, wait till you get down to the base. I'm sure it's froze up completely. Well, a lot of carbon in there though.
Yeah.
Since we got new plugs, I'm just gonna go ahead and put them in versus trying to clean them ones up. Just doesn't make sense.
Right.
Too easy just to put the new ones in there. I might wait though until we working.
Yeah.
Wow. That looks a little funky there, but
Yeah.
it may pump more gas on the outside of the carburetor than it does down through the intake by the time we're putting fuel to it, but we'll see. I've kind of got those filed down. If we want to run a wire, let me go find a jumper wire. Just do that for now. Stretch that over there and use that big clip here in a second. I'm just going to go straight to the coil here just to see if we're popping any. Pretty nasty down here though. Kind of grimy. No sparking.
No sparky.
Let's see what it does when it turns over.
Find the end of it there. Ready?
Go ahead. Now,
Nothing.
disconnect it. Let me try to clean them one more time. Okay, let's try that.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah. Now, could be the coil or it could be the points. I say let's go ahead and start with the points. I mean, since how most of the time
That's where it's at.
that's where it's at anyway, so. We try to go ahead and clean these points up, but we're just not getting any fire. It's kind of hard to get down there at them, and this file's really not coarse enough to clean them up the way it needs to be. So we're just going to go ahead and see about replacing these points. If it's still not getting fire then, we may have to replace this coil as well. But hopefully once we get those replaced, check it out if it's sparking there, then see if it's sending it to the spark plugs. I guess you can go ahead and try that.
Okay.
Hard to see down in there, but
Got spark.
hey, that's good.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm clear. Yeah, not a whole lot, but it is got enough to, should make it fire on. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and put them new plugs in there.
Alrighty. You want me to take this fuel filter and this off in case we
Yeah,
start with?
I think it's getting pretty
there?
close. Yeah, I think it's getting pretty close to possibly trying to pop off. So I doubt there's any fuel in there, but if there is any trash, it'll allow it to still push it through.
That's right.
Got a grip, huh?
Got a grip. It's got them all crimped on
Oh, yeah.
hose clamps. Come on over there.
Yeah, I guess if you wanted to, we could go ahead and try to either gravity feed something to that, or I believe I got that little electric fuel pump. We can just hook right into that.
Surely we can just gravity feed right now just to see what we've got going.
So we got a new set of spark plugs in this thing. Went ahead and had to replace the points in the condenser. So we went ahead and just did a new coil and everything. So we've also got a new distributor cap, new rotor button, and new wires. So we're going to pop that on there now. We are getting spark at the points down there. We're going to check and make sure that we're getting spark at the plugs. Dad's already got a little gas tank rigged up on the carburetor, but we'll dump a little fuel down in the neck of it, see if she tries to pop off, and then we'll decide to hook this fuel pump up and see if the brakes are locked up or if the tires are just keeping it from rolling around. So all in all, going pretty good so far. Let's just see if this thing gets any more spark to the plugs.
That's a Cool.
Cool wire. Go ahead and pop it on there. Number one. Okay. Five. 3.
These are both the same size, so it's
Okay.
going to be 2 and 4.
2, 4. 2, 4. Well, that was easy enough.
Yeah.
Well, are we that close already?
Pretty close.
Will it take any fuel down in there to fill up that bowl? Let's go ahead and run our wire back over here. Wish we had a key where we could crank it inside.
Mm-hmm.
Taking it?
Mm-hmm.
What about, have you tried the throttle to see if it's stuck or moves?
Yeah, I wiggled it a while ago, and it seems like it's...
Yeah, at least it ain't wide open, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's going back to the idle screw. I bet it pops off 4th time. I don't trust that belt a whole lot, so I'm
Yeah.
kind of stay back this way.
Uh,
I've got it connected, yeah. We should be good. Just be ready to pull that wire in case it does something funky. Yeah. Go ahead.
I didn't give it much of a drink a while ago, so... I mean, if I was sitting for 40 years, I'd probably be pretty thirsty.
Yeah. You gave it enough just to tease it.
Yeah. There we go.
All right. Let me get some carb cleaner real
Okay.
quick where I can kind of... I guess we never did check it at the plug, but we should be. We should be getting it there. Looks good there. I don't know that I've even really said it was trying yet, though. I mean,
Right.
I want to think it is.
I thought when we first started it kinda, but it wasn't enough
Yeah.
to...
Okay. Trying, ain't it?
Yep.
Okay. It's getting there. Come on. Yeah, I think we're getting the fuel.
Yeah.
Because that there just said,
Flood
no. No, thank you. Yeah. At least we got something, didn't
Yeah.
we? I mean, it ran that time. Okay. What is it?
There's a rat.
Oh gosh. That's another one of those big old pack rats.
Oh.
Did it come out of the car?
Yeah, it came out of the car.
Well, there's your answer to what's going on with the
No wonder why it won't crank. Yeah.
all
Where
these,
they're moving to?
yeah, all these rat rods. That's crazy. Well, I'm glad he went that way. I bet we popped him out of the exhaust. He'll fire right up now. All right. Thank you for evacuating. Let her cook. Come on. I done flooded it so much with it everywhere, it don't want to go out. Let's keep going. This thing's running a little hot.
Ready?
Yeah. I think we're going to have some gas pumping to it. I mean, it is running, but at least get that pump to it and see what it's, how it works off of that. So I have to say she did fire up and run that time, so I haven't really been able to check out if it's smoking a little bit, which it should be. I mean, this car's been sitting forever. We poured Marvel Mystery Oil down in there to break it up. I've been fighting flooding it with too much fuel anyway, so we're just going to hook up this electric fuel pump up to it where it'll pump some gas into it, and hopefully we can just get this thing to crank up and idle. Then we'll see if any of the gears are working on it, and just getting that much closer to getting her down the road. I don't see it going nowhere.
I see it smoking.
Well, let's try it. It's not flooding out everywhere. It sounds pretty good for a little inline 6-cylinder.
Yeah.
We want to try to put some water in it just to see if it's,
We can.
at least if the water pump's working. We know we got bad hoses, but it might let us know if it pumps. Let's kill it real quick and I'll track down some water. Praise God. So we got some coolant in this radiator, and the only place that we could tell that it was leaking was the obvious crack that we had up top here. Now we're not really sure if this is circulating yet. We've got some bad hoses, at least down low. I'm sure the car probably still has a thermostat in it, so when you crank it up right now, it's hard to tell if it's circulating at all. So we may pull that thermostat out just to know that we've got water flowing through everything. But you can hook this wire up right here to the coil, hit the key. She's running great. So what we're going to do right now is we're coming back here. We've got it jacked up, and we're going to, I know that wheel was turning. This wheel here is froze up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go inside the car and try to see if I can put it in gear. Maybe we'll get lucky enough that it'll, you know, break free that way. If not, we may spend more time on the brakes than we did get this running. So we'll try that out now, see what it does. Water pump's starting to make a little racket. I don't feel super comfortable about getting in this thing after that rat. Let's see if this clutch. Okay. Try first. Ugh. I want to go in gear.
Sound like a duck.
Crazy how well this thing's running. Nah, it ain't wanting to go. We may have to look at the linkage on that thing, or
Right.
there's so many wires running every which way. I don't know what's what. It's not a hydraulic clutch, is it?
Doesn't look like it.
Let me press it and see if there's any slop in it. It feels okay in here.
No, it looks like it's
I bet it's just rusted itself.
Rusted on there.
Yeah. I wonder, let me put it in gear and try to crank it. Sometimes that'll help to break it loose, so.
Okay. No.
Not spinning?
No.
I'm gonna try reverse, but.
I'm gonna hit it with a hammer real quick.
Yeah.
I can't hurt that old wheel.
No, that thing's shot. We'll probably have to get on the back side though and hit that drum. Yeah, I bet it's gonna have to take the hit on the drum though.
Yep.
Still don't solve our clutch issues.
No.
I bet you that plate's rusted to the flywheel.
I bet it is, yep.
But sometimes if you can drive them, it'll come
pop
undone.
loose, yep.
We may have to get up underneath there too though and try to mess with that. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm gonna try to go ahead and crank it in reverse, see if it breaks out.
Okay, I'm gonna put the fuel pump on because it may have died from lack of fuel. So.
That's probably why it did. See if that wheel's spinning.
Nope.
You can kill it. Hear that water pump screeching now.
Yeah, I just noticed it's leaking down there. We got water running down, so.
Give up on us, didn't you?
Yep.
Well, I'd rather do it now than miles down the road.
Yeah.
Huh?
Even a mile down the road would be.
Right. So our water pump gave evidence that it's shot now, so we're going to have to pick up a water pump for sure. Hopefully everything will start circulating, get that radiator hose replaced on the bottom as well. Now on the back of the car, it's obvious that we're going to need brakes. This back passenger side still hasn't broke loose, so we're going to have to get underneath the car, take the wheel off, maybe bang around on that brake drum there. Hopefully everything will come apart and we can get all that stuff replaced back new. I'm sure the fronts are going to be the same, but right now we're just going to need parts. So we'll get this tore down, see exactly what we're going to need, but pretty happy with today. Got this thing cranked up and running. She's idling pretty good. The foot pedal works on it even, so going to have to diagnose the clutch. Not sure why it's not engaging and disengaging, but hopefully once we get the car rolling, we can drive it and it'll fix that on itself. There you go. Alrighty. So what we got going on here is this car had a really weird bolt pattern. It's a 5-on-4-inch bolt pattern. So we ended up having to buy some wheel adapters, and we've come up with these just junkyard wheels that we picked up from a Ranger, I believe. As you can tell, these original wheels, I mean, they're just gone. The whole bottom edge where it's set in the ground is just rusted completely away. So we're just trying to bolt these up. I noticed I've got this one pulled on there. It is clearing on our offset and everything, so that was kind of a concern. Dad's going to go ahead and start bolting that one on. Now we did have to go ahead and redo all the brakes on it. So I'm talking about we've got a master cylinder, wheel cylinders, brake pads, hoses, the whole 9 yards. I believe we've got that working the way we need to. On the coolant system up here, we talked about we had to replace this water pump, so we've got that on here. Check out this water pump though. I mean, the actual fan inside there that spins the water completely broke off, and it was just packed in with just all kinds of corrosion and crud there. So hopefully we're pumping good now. We do have a lower hose here that the belt's got into. We're going to have to replace that. So I'll pull that off once we get all these wheels put on here. But we're getting really close to trying to drive this thing, see if we can get that clutch to unstick. Problem is we've got some bad weather coming in on us here, so I don't know how that's going to affect getting it home. But we're just going to keep at it. Hopefully no rain comes in and just see if we can make it there. Does it look like that one's going to clear everything?
It looks like it is.
Front ones seem to be good.
Only thing I'm concerned about is that other side where it's been wrecked. So
Yeah. Well, we got a trailer tire on this wheel, so I figured I'd put it on that side in case we have it blow out and it ain't gonna mess up too much. Yeah.
yeah, we'll clear everything.
Brakes stiff, oh.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know about this side here. Yeah. Looks like it was made for it. You think we could go ahead and pull this lower hose off and get that replaced real quick?
I think so, yeah.
Kind of fearful about the radiator being stopped up because we've ran some flush through here trying to clean it out. I actually ran some vinegar through it because I've had good luck with that cleaning it, but it's still pretty rusty up inside here. Oh yeah.
Ew.
Pretty nasty still. Pretty rough, huh?
Yeah.
Hopefully filling it back up though, hopefully that's just a lot of the stuff it's been cleaning up, that rust in there.
Pull that little cap there. Let it drain a little bit.
Get a socket. Top one slid right on there. I'm gonna go ahead and run some more flush stuff through it, let it go through it while we're driving home. At least it might, I don't know if that'll help us or hurt us, but. Should be a couple jugs of water.
Okay.
Top this thing off with. Just running some Blue Devil radiator flush through here. I know it's gonna try to clean it, which hopefully doesn't clog up anything worse, but definitely want to try to clean it up a little better. Kind of worried about the radiator up here where it was cracked too. Don't know if it's gonna split. I think as long as it's running great, as long as it don't get hot, I don't think we're gonna have any problems, but that is always an option that can happen too. I think this might top it off.
Alrighty. If not, I'm gonna have to fill this one up. I kind of dropped the ball and didn't get it filled.
It's taking it down, so not leaking anywhere. Crank it up and see if we can see any kind of circulation, you think? Should be everything, right?
Yeah, except for tightening that, but we can do that in a minute.
Yeah. Forgot we also do have a key switch in here now, so we got that installed where I can crank and kill it. So, you clear, Dad?
I'm clear.
Here we go. Back wheel's spinning. I don't know if I'm partially in gear or what.
We got another small leak right there.
Oh yeah. Was it pumping?
Yeah, it was pumping.
It was?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know why.
It's in gear. I mean, it's clutch on.
Yeah, I think I had it partially in gear. Try it again. What's that noise at? What, is it the alternator?
It's the alternator and the belt, I think. Mostly the alternator, I think. Just these little. Yeah, it was flowing. It sucked down. But I could see it flowing just a minute ago.
Yeah, let's go ahead and, as bad as that belt is, let's go ahead and try to tighten it a little bit more. Man, I hope this belt will last. Along with the radiator and everything else. I kind of pulled it by hand, it was pretty loose. I don't want to get it too tight, you know. I'll loosen it off a little bit. Think something like that.
I think, yeah, it went just a hair more, but so you don't want to.
Did it so tight?
But it breaks the belt.
Yeah. Well, we want to get it off these jack stands and see if I can get that clutch done still.
I think so. I mean, that's going to be our next issue, big issue.
Yeah, hopefully that thing just cranking it in a gear will allow it to break loose.
Hopefully, yeah.
I have no interest in pulling that transmission out here. Yeah.
Okay, I'm free.
Well, I guess we didn't really check the brakes or spin them over by hand, but we know they're bled. They should be good.
Just a little bit better.
Just gonna put this on here to keep us from losing it. Probably gonna have to clean this windshield off some.
Yeah. Just
There
still
it
hook that
goes.
still up, but yeah.
Knock the 40-year-old dust off of it. Good grief, maybe.
May not be dust now, it may be concrete.
Man, I hope we're able to drive this home because this is going to look like it should not be on the road. And it may tell us real quick
That it
it's
ain't
not
going on the-
supposed to be on the road. That should be enough for me to see some. Come back later. Should work. Well, I guess I'll see what it does real quick. Is that as far down as the hood will go?
No, I can get it down a little further.
Stay clear.
Okay.
I guess I'll just be ready to kill it if it doesn't.
Off we go.
Did it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah.
That was quick.
Well, it's still rolling a little bit. Ah, praise God. Yep, I got fully clutch now. Very jittery. Try backwards. Oh, brakes work.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Well, good. That could have been a lot of work. I'm gonna try to drive it around just a little bit. Come on. to do something to keep my door closed. Got to clean this windshield better. I'm gonna try to get it out here where we cut the old P10 out. There's actually a parts card that goes with this one to fix that quarter panel. Show you guys how grown up it is. Squeeze through here. Might be fun getting back out of here. So there she is. Disconnect this fuel pump. So the old P10 van was sitting right in this area. So it does have a good quarter panel on it, but man, is it grown up. And there's a fence even here. I'm curious if it might have a radiator though. That could work on that. It doesn't look like it. It does have the front end, no rear end. But we got to try to get this out to fix that car. But that's another day too. If I can just get backed out of here. Didn't think this out too much. Crazy, cranks right up. Well, can't see out the back. Come on. I think she's a little cold still. Well, got back there and couldn't hardly turn around. I can't tell if the temp gauge is working or not.
Oh yeah?
It's come up a little bit, but carburetor's still got.
It's not hot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's warm.
Brakes seem to be working. Of course, I'm only going 2 miles an hour, but that other car is going to be tough getting out. That parts car. Yeah, way worse than that P10 ever thought about being.
Oh wow.
Only other thing I can think about doing is go ahead and maybe change that oil in it.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't look terrible, but it's also
It's dark,
kind of dark,
ain't it?
and
Yeah.
it's also very old. So I've got some engine flush we can run through there, let it run just a little bit, check that temperature gauge, then drain the oil out of it. And hit the road before it starts something funky on the weather.
Yeah, because I don't know if your wipers are working or not.
I doubt it. They're welded down with dust. So we went ahead and just ran some engine flush through the block there, got the oil changed out on it. It wasn't too terribly looking, but it is very old. So we got some fresh oil in it, a new oil filter. We've come inside and we packed it down with all of our tools and stuff that we brought out here. If you see back here, I've got this gas can ran to our fuel pump, and we just brought a spare battery over here just in case the alternator's not working, but I'm running the fuel pump off that. So we're about to just hop in this thing. I got Dad and Christian are gonna be in the van kind of following around, filming the best we can. So we're just gonna hit the road. Like I said, hopefully we don't run into any rain, because I know all that dust is just gonna pour down where I can't see anything. So get inside here, hopefully everything stops, goes, and we win on this one. So we'll see how this works out. Strap my door here. Somehow. That should work. Alrighty. Oh, fuel pump. Already forgetting. Here we go. Not off to a good start. Feels a little wobbly right now, but we went ahead and packed those wheel bearings too when we were doing the brakes, so no, those are okay. The tires are used. Like I said, there's a trailer tire on the back, but other than that, they didn't look like they were too dry rotted or knotted up. There we go. About a 50-mile drive home, so it will definitely put this thing to the test. So far, so good. This old dirt road's probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 miles where we'll actually get out onto another old highway, but trying to take a bunch of roads that are not highly traveled. It's going all right so far. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can go a little faster.
Christian told me to slow down.
Oh, come on. The carburetor's cutting out on me. I think we're gonna have to pick up a little bit more speed. It's carburetor's trying to cut out on me.
Okay.
Come on. Find that sweet spot. Oh goodness, this should be interesting. About 50 miles and we're trying to take as many back roads as we can just in case something goes haywire, but my oil light did come on. I'm not sure what's up with that. It was on earlier too, so it may just be a bad sensor or something. Temperature gauge really hasn't moved much, so hopefully we're good on that. I got a bunch of water and stuff back here just in case. So showing 44,100 miles on the odometer. But I'm trying to see if it's even rolling. Yeah, looks like it's working. So Sam was telling me he believes that that's just the original 44,000 miles. It ain't 144,000. This was a low miles car, so I believe it. I mean, looks like they got hit significantly hard and parked it. Brakes aren't as spectacular as I'd hope they'd be. Come on. trying to baby that carburetor, that throttle. It seems like if I go into it slowly, it does okay. Starting to lose some dust. Third gear. Ain't real happy in third gear though. The steering is tight in this car though. Be honest with you, other than packing the wheel bearings, we didn't really check a whole lot on tie rod ends and stuff like that before we started, but probably should have. About halfway on the temperature right now. I'm just going to keep an eye on it.
Okay. Got a big bus coming up on your tail.
I guess he'll have to go around. There's no shoulder. Sorry. Guess I could have. Do have a shoulder here. Let some people by here. Two more coming. Loud in here with that old exhaust, basically just cut off right below my feet. Horn marks. I don't think the blinkers do, but yeah, of course, traffic right off the bat. Let them by. Out here, really just a lot of farmland and cattle and airspace, I guess you'd say. A whole lot of nothing. Cutting out a little bit every once in a while, but I mean, that's to be expected. Like I said, we didn't do anything with the old carburetor on this thing. If I can find that little happy spot in the pedal, it does pretty good, but once she gets mad, she kind of stays that way for a little bit. There we go. Got enough rat turds to hold my drink there. That's good. She's not liking this hill. Come on. liking that lower RPM of third gear. If I can ever get it up past 50, she'll roll along a lot better. Come on, girl. There we go. Ooh, I feel like I hear that alternator chirping. Something. Ah, died on me.
It died on him.
Let's see here. I don't know what's going on. Sounds real sluggish turning over.
He don't know what's going on. It sounded real sluggish coming over, turning over.
Just try to.
Oh, we got it.
I hear a little bit of a noise. Ah, it died again.
Died on him again. There you go. You got it back up.
Yeah, I believe we're starting to overheat some. I think we're starting to overheat.
Okay, we need to pull over somewhere.
Yeah, I don't think I'll make it top of the hill. I'm gonna see how far I can coast. Check this thing out, see if it's hot or what the deal is. Oh yeah, I see a little smoke. Don't hear no gurgling though. Oh yeah, blew another hole out.
Oh, yep.
Well, dang. That ain't no count, is it?
No.
Looks like the other one's held up, but I guess this whole top part
rotten.
is rotten. Yeah. It's really not that hot. So let's see if there's even any. No.
We're probably losing it all.
It's squirting out that, yeah. Let me try to patch it up, I guess. I don't know if that was in this or where we put it.
Yeah, I don't remember. I'll look in this one.
I don't know about the wire wheel to clean it up some.
You need the wire wheel?
Yeah.
I may have that.
So we patched up this radiator before we left. It had a couple cracks in it anyways, but apparently this whole top of it's just rotten because it blew another spot out. So we brought this stuff with us. We're gonna clean it up, try to patch it up, fill it up with water again, see if we can't make it a little further, I guess. Yeah, that stuff's just brittle.
Yeah.
Bad thing is this stuff's supposed to set. at least an hour. That might work. Kind of just left it a little bulky. I guess we'll just let it set up a little bit, fill it back with water and see what it does. Getting more everywhere else than I am in it. Oh yeah, she's hot. Whoa. A lot hotter than I thought it was.
Yeah, she wasn't showing her true colors, was she?
Didn't have no, all the water's out of it. It's just. What's crazy is on the temp gauge it was only, which doesn't mean it obviously wasn't working. Wow. Yeah, she's pretty warm. Kind of at that point too where you're midways.
Yeah.
Do you go back or?
You go back, you're gonna travel just as far as you go on.
Yeah. I don't know if we'd be better off having the cap down on it or.
I don't know, because it blew a hole in it with the cap off. I mean,
Right.
loose, so it may blow a huge hole. But what it's doing right now is it's just blowing it out, going down the road.
Right.
It had bean burritos last night.
We got plenty of gas, that's for sure. I knew it was coming after I heard that noise. I knew there had to be a good fart joke from you.
Only we would be stuck on the side of the road laughing about a car farting.
It's a good case of the green apple splatters.
You want to keep, I want to turn the key over and see what that gauge is showing. It works with the key off, I guess, so it's just a mechanical style. It's dropped down some, but not a lot. Not a lot at all. Ain't even gonna be enough to fill it up?
Nope.
No? Trying to think, what do we got next down there? Talco, I guess? Would be the next.
Next biggest place.
Well, Sugar Hill. So.
Sugar Hill, but there's just a little old dent in the road.
I guess we'll just let it cool off, wait it out, and hope for the best.
Now, some of you might be thinking I'm telling the wrong story. And if I didn't know any better, I'd start to question that myself. But the truth is, you can never forget a good story.
Yeah, try this out one more time. Well, got that radiator kind of patched back and topped off with water. It's cooled off enough now, so hopefully we can make it on back in without any problems, but you never know at this point.
I reckon the old girl still had a little hope left in her after all. You see, that's the thing about hope. It doesn't matter how bad it might look or what tries to take you down along the way. With a little seed of faith and a whole lot of love from the Lord above, there's always time to make it home. And isn't that the point of the story, after all?